Every successful organization begins with its people. At Incredible Workplaces, we help you build workplaces that inspire, engage, and endure. Recognition starts with certification. Our globally benchmarked evaluation celebrates organizations that foster engagement, inclusivity, and innovation. Certification is more than a badge. It's proof that your culture empowers people to excel. Through consulting, we partner with organizations to transform cultures, strengthen leadership, and build workplaces that adapt, innovate, and thrive. Your story deserves to be heard. With our employer branding solutions, we showcase your culture through featured videos, exclusive events, and media spotlights, ensuring you attract and retain top talent with pride. From recognition to transformation and employer branding, our services create workplaces that inspire people and elevate businesses. Are you ready to transform your workplace into a beacon of excellence? Partner with Incredible Workplaces today.
Thanks a lot, Incredible Workplace, for this recognition. Thank you.
Proud to be Incredible Workplaces.
I'm proud to share that MB Informatics has been certified as an Incredible Workplace.
Feeling proud to be recognized as Incredible Workplace certified.
All right, I think there was some issue. All right. Um, Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to Voices That Lead, the Incredible Workplaces webinar series, where we bring together industry leaders to share their perspective on the future of work. Hi, I'm Vibha Rawat, Vice President, People and Culture at Incredible Workplaces, and I'm delighted to be your host for episode 4 on a very interesting topic, AI versus HR. Today, we are here to explore one of the most relevant conversations shaping the future of work, how artificial intelligence is changing HR and how HR leaders are redefining their roles in this evolving landscape. We have exceptional panel with us today. Each speaker brings deep expertise, years of leadership experience, and a unique lens on intersection of people and technology. So without further ado, let me introduce our amazing speakers. Uh, the very first speaker, I'm very excited to bring him on the stage, Vikram Kalinpur. Vikram is the Vice President, Human Resources at Enterprise Minds. He is an award-winning, result-driven, people-centric HR leader with nearly 30 years of rich experience across various industries. He is known for leading human-centric organization transformation, HR digitalization, and high-performance culture building, especially during transition and mergers. It's wonderful to have you with us, Vikram.
Thank you so much, Vibha, for the opportunity.
Great. Next, we have Kirti Vasan S. Kirti Vasan is the CHRO at Priya Consumer Private Limited with over 18 years of experience across strategic HR, global roles, performance management, and a rapid team scaling. A three-time TEDx speaker, he has built high-performing teams in startups and large enterprises and is currently leading Priyag's transformation journey. Welcome to the session, Kritivasan.
Thank you so much, Reba, and to Incredible Workplaces as well. This is certainly an amazing platform for us to discuss about the most widely spoken about AI versus HR, how it's going to be and how it's shaping up. Once again, thank you and look forward to a conversation with the peer speakers.
Thank you. Joining us now is Anushri Kose. Anushri is the Vice President, People and Ecosystem Growth at Pipla Solutions. She drives people transformation, employer branding, ecosystem partnership, and the adoption of AI in HR across recruitment, performance, learning, and culture. She also collaborates with academia to integrate industry-ready solutions into university environments. Welcome, Anushri.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reba. It's my privilege to join you for episode 04 of the Voices That Lead webinar series hosted by Incredible Workplaces.
Thank you, Anushri. Thank you. And finally, we have Kanan R. Kanan is the Assistant Vice President at System AMC with over 20 years of experience across IT services, EPC, and manufacturing. His expertise include recruitment, business HR, leadership development, and change management across local, regional, and global settings. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Karan.
Thank you, Vibha, and good evening, all. Thank you, Incredible Workplaces, for inviting me for this fourth Voices That Lead session. Thanks for the warm welcome, Vibha. Looking forward to
Thank you.
a nice session.
Now, since we have all our speaker on the stage, I will start with a discussion. And my first question to you is, Vikram, that from your perspective, I would like to understand that with your experience in leading HR digital transformation, what is the most meaningful way AI can enhance the HR function without losing the human touch?
Great question to start the conversation, Vibha. In my experience, leading HR transformation is the most meaningful way, AI can enhance HR without losing the human touch. It's by giving us more space to be more human. And I'll share a small anecdote. A few years back, when one of my HR BPs sighed and told me that I'm spending more time with spreadsheets and reports than with people. At this point in time, Excel takes more of me than my employees. It was a wake-up call for us. So we said, what can we do to get AI in and make it more human? So we said AI will remove the noise so that HR can do real work. So what we did is we deployed an AI assistant to handle all the routine HR queries, right? And we soon had employees and the HRBP who had mentioned to me, come back and tell me that I finally have time to sit down with a manager and deal with a real-time human or a conflict, a team conflict. Then I have had to kind of repeat what is the new leave policy or what is the leave policy say multiple times, right? So this reconfirmed that we were on the right path. And then AI being good at handling FAQs, being good at repetitive tasks, it gave us humans a greater time to do TLC. I'm sure the younger generation understands TLC stands for tender love and care, but that's what we kind of went with. The second perspective is that AI personalized experiences at a scale that no human being with a base life could do. So we rolled out AI recommended learning paths, right? And one of the engineers reflect saying that for once my training plan does not look like it was copy pasted from someone else's, but because we are on the same role, but I can see personalization in here. I can see what my reporting manager or my mentor recommended that's getting personalized and coming up. So what we learned was personalization went up. There was a larger win-win, and I'll be very happy to share a few metrics and a few anecdotes as we go along, because it'll help you realize this is all real time that I'm talking about. We now use more than 85% LinkedIn learning and certifications. You'll be surprised that today we are having people who are saying, I want to do this course, rather than someone saying that you're nominated for a course and do it. Because the AI has a very gentle nudge system, and we do badging, with that. Let me also take it to a slightly different twist. AI helped me reveal a lot more about things that won't be said aloud, right? For example, let's say sentiment analysis. We once, flagged a varying dip in the engagement in a star team. Left alone, we would have discovered it in a staggering timeline as people slowly opened up. But here, what the AI did was it, used patterns. It used a lot of process that we had kind of put in, and it started pushing the manager of that team and nudging him the right directions by putting in notifications saying, have you done this? Have you tried this? Kind of a thing. So our one-on-one that we do with RAG indicator, RAG being red, amber, green indicators, which we cover in our organization for, say, experience, happiness, learning, growth, and culture, that kind of went up. And if you see, in the last 2-3 months, we have been able to kind of almost predict, if there is a requirement of a human intervention. And the analysis is amalgamated for patterns using AI. So it's a great example of a balance of where AI and HR work together. And I'll just give you 2 more points before I stop. AI can check our biases without really, putting in this awkward workshop key roles and stuff like that. So we used AI to surface inconsistent performance rating patterns, right? It didn't accuse anyone. It didn't do anything other than go deep down in and come up with a lot of analytical stuff that we wanted. And it would, as soon as a leader would start typing something and would make it a little personal or go a little off the track, it would say, you may want to reconsider or rethink about this, right? So we didn't replace human judgment, but it just gave us a friendly tap on the shoulder and said, would you want to kind of really do this, or can you do something better than this? So it helped me when I was doing my first time manager development, trying to also, use the same leaders, young leaders, into doing appraisals. The last point is about how AI makes HR more responsive and not robotic. So with AI handling the heavy data lifting that I just mentioned to you and helping us with analytics, my team, HR, had more bandwidth to actually listen, empathize, connect. So it turned HR from, we will get back to you soon, or I'll come back to you, or let's talk about it in a later date, or we'll do it offline, to say, let's talk about it right now. Because the time was time, there was data, there was ease to kind of go ahead and summarize the things. So it was, very easy. So let me summarize what I've said so far that can be like a takeaway. AI didn't remove the human touch, right? It removed the human drudgery. It let the HR spend less time answering to the same policies, same kind of questions, same kind of stuff, because the bot would do it. And we had more time having conversations that actually helped shape culture, trust, belongingness. So AI took away the noise and humans took away the spotlight. And I think that's the kind of partnership, we are very happy with. Over to you, Vibha.
Very well said, Vikram. I think this is one powerful line, that AI has to take away the noise. It has to do what is, very operational, wherein, human really do not need to put their bandwidth into, and they can really add value in doing something else. And I remember the time when, AI was just evolving and we were getting familiar with it, but the kind of transition we brought through it in our workspace, it was amazing. We were amazed to see that, writing policies, spending so much of time in that paperwork was not needed at all. It's now a matter of few seconds, just a prompt, and you get the policy, which is defining everything, right? So your work becomes easy. You are more into talking to people, understanding them, aligning your people policies with your business to bring the best outcome. So very well said that, AI is here to remove the noise, and people and human have to get that spotlight. So thank you for bringing that into it.
Sure.
All right. My next question to you is, Krithivasan, that drawing from your diverse experience across roles and industries, how can organizations strike balance, I would say right balance, between AI-driven decision and human judgment?
Yeah, great. Thank you. So today, organization actually don't need to choose between AI or humans, right? For them, it's all about designing a system which interacts with one another. It's where AI amplifies the human judgment and not replaces it. So there are a couple of things that we can do, right? One is let AI handle the what part of it, while the human owns the why and how. One simple example could be like AI can easily flag a person as a high attrition risk. But the fact is that it might look into the data at a very high level, and it might just say that, okay, basis is this, that, and ABC reasons, this is why it is getting flagged. But it's the manager who will be able to actually comment stating that, you know what, there is a reason behind it, there is empathy towards it, and he knows the context, he uses empathy, and he will be able to bring in a more context towards the whole scenario. So when an AI flags someone as a high attrition, then it's the manager who will come into the picture. But then we can still use AI, right? This will at least give you, it will help you bring down the list to a larger extent, and then your human judgment comes into play. The next, which already Mr. Vikram spoke about, is AI will actually help in removing the bias. Today, the most used statement in corporate is favoritism, right? So AI will ideally help you remove that favoritism concept in terms of let it be a gender or a college or even a simple resume formatting or whatever it is. Many a times we just throw CVs just because saying that, okay, fine, you know what, there's so much of information, I can't read it, so I'm not going to consider. So AI will remove all those bias and give you the best of it. And from there, as a human, we will take a more informed call, looking at going through those CVs. I mean, if you get 100 CVs from a recruitment standpoint, AI will help you bring it down to say about, say, 10 or 15. But you can spend the quality time with those 10, 15. Then you can understand what have been their journeys, how they've actually worked. Because some people might not be good in expression, but we as a human being, we always expect everything to be shown in a very perfect way, right? So AI can ensure that they remove the bias and can help you, and human beings can help take a more informed call. AI will be used more from a speed perspective, but when it comes to the sense making, you need human beings. AI can never do a sense making. It can only do at scale, do at speed, but to add to the character of it, you need human beings. And the final part is very simple, right? It's all about AI is more of something which will give you the data, but the humans are the one who will give direction to it.
Yeah, very well said. And there is a question that's very, linked with the thought that you just shared. It's from Priyanshu, and it says, "Is there a risk of over dependence on AI for people decisions, and how can HR teams avoid that?" I think I have heard conversations, and just this example that you gave on recruitment, that people have just used AI for generating their resumes, and they all look alike. And when AI is selecting the resumes, many of the people who have right skills for the role are eliminated. So over dependence on AI, how to avoid that, and how can HR team be mindful of using AI in the right way? So any thoughts on that?
See, that's exactly the reason why we always have this human in the loop, right? No matter what AI gives you, the empathy part, like I said, I mean, empathy has been a most widely used ever since this COVID era. So empathy part, AI can never do it. It's only the human being can do it. So you need to have this human in the loop approach. AI can only recommend, but the decision should be with the manager or the person who is hiring. Okay. Say, for example, if AI says that he's a low performer, then the manager should be in a position to ask questions to AI back, stating, why do you think he's a low performer? Then AI will give you some instances, whatever it is. But then it's the human who's in the loop will be able to then justify saying that, is it really right? Or is there a backstory to it? And second thing is, HR team will also take an effort to train the managers on how to use AI. AI is all about garbage in is equal to garbage out, right? I'm sorry if it's very straightforward, but that's a fact. What you throw in is what you're going to get it out. So you need to know how to ask questions, how to tweak, the art of writing the statement. So that is more important. If you know what to ask, the right set of questions to even AI, then you will get the right answer.
Thank you, Kirti, for adding that point. And I would quickly like to bring Karan into this discussion because he has that, experience of handling last phase recruitment and all. So, Karan, with your experience, recruitment world is evolving very quickly, and we are using so many tools for AI data-driven assessments. As this shift continues, how can we ensure that HR is fair and they have accuracy in hiring?
Thank you, Vibha. Of course, to start with, I would say AI-driven assessments accelerate screening and enhance accuracy without any doubt. But without proper checkpoints, they risk amplifying the bias and causing unfair hiring decision. So, as Kirti told, when AI systems can only inherit the human biases from historical data, so that leads to many unfair and discriminatory outcomes. We need to ensure the algorithmic fairness has to be in a right way. So perhaps we know about the famous FMCG online major developing an AI recruiting tool earlier. So that learned to favor one particular gender profiles only, and it was later scrapped due to bias against the other genders. So likewise, not only on the gender part, if we are feeding in data with anything else on, let it be the demographies. We may even choose people from one particular location. We may choose people from one particular set of college, tier 1, tier 2 college. So all those kind of data automatically, the system is going to inherit that basis which the hiring is going to happen. We have to be very careful with this, and any unchecked bias of these kinds would erode the entire trust among the employees as well as the candidates. So as Kirti told them, and we always need to have the human in the loop decision-making model, HITL, that is very important. So never fully automate the hiring decisions. So let's use AI to support the recruiters, but not replace them or the hiring decisions, because the human connections that the candidate is important one. So for every shortlist that we have, we need to understand how the scoring is arrived. And humans should interpret the AI suggestions in context. And in fact, one small example is I was in an EPCM setup earlier. Okay, so although the AI was doing all the evaluations and everything, so we would still have the hiring team assess the project execution or the completion mindset of the individual. So the safety orientation, which are two important aspects in any project, in an EPCM project. So this can be done only through a human judgment. So that's very important to bring in the human in the loop while the AI is doing the administrative task and in a faster way. So organizations, I would also say they need to conduct some audits on the bias, okay, even before the deployment of the product and even after the deployment of the product in a periodical way. Another important aspect that I would touch upon is the transparency or the explainability. So how many of us would know how AI arrives at a decision? It's a big question, as AI automatically picks the information from the data that we are feeding in, and through which it creates its own decision-making model basis the data that we feed. So we need to choose an AI system that can explain the decisions. For example, if you're choosing a candidate, it should, if it gives a scoring pattern, we need to understand how the scoring pattern is arrived. And this particular transparency has to be given to the candidates as well. While we are informing the candidates, we can also inform, okay, we have an AI screening tool which would screen your resume. So we can provide the candidates with a simple explanation, of what is being assessed. Let it be the skills or the behaviors or the culture. So this would build the trust within the candidates and also allow them to showcase their relevant skills appropriately. So even laws, I mean, in the US and the European AI Acts, they have been increasingly mandating the explicit notice and consent for AI interviews from the candidate or for the profiling, which is very important. So
Yeah.
apart from that, I would even say, like, I mean, HR should integrate clear communication into the process and allow the candidates to ask these questions. And we should also provide them with information of what kind of data is the AI is going to use, because privacy is very important. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then I would also talk about the inclusive and the ethical design here. Okay, the inclusive and ethical design, when I say, I would say, like, I mean, let's involve diverse stakeholders while developing a tool. Okay, I mean, so this would help us in giving a proper data set which reflects diversity in terms of gender or age or ethnicity or socioeconomic background, or even the language fluency. I mean, again, let me take an example from one of my organizations. So we had to do a voice-based assessment for certain candidates, which was done through AI. So we even found a pattern where it was rejecting quite a few candidates. When we were checking that, we found that most of the employees or other candidates have a strong regional accent. So it was automatically getting, I mean, they were automatically getting rejected. So we started connecting the vendor and trained the AI models with various diverse audio samples. So that way the problem was sorted out. So apart from that, let's also establish clear governance for any AI use, because we can form an AI ethics committee. We know we have in India the DPDP Act, the upcoming Digital India Act. For the European, you already have this AI Act, and likewise you have few acts in US. So let's have an AI ethics committee and have frame the models in line with the particular legal framework. Let it be in terms of data privacy, data usage, whatever it may be. So more importantly, as Kirti said again, train the team. It is very important. I mean, HR team would need new capabilities to govern the AI. So they need to develop their skills in an AI literacy or data ethics or bias identification, etc. So let's have a human-centric AI hiring. The goal is not to replace the recruiters. It is just to enhance the fairness, consistency, and the speed. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kanan. I think you were on point. You covered a lot many questions that our audience were asking about. There are very valid points that I love, that we should have AI ethics committee when we are having AI. We are using AI heavily in our work and all that. So for all that mentions, like how to have this legal framework in place to ensure that you are you are meeting all the compliance that's needed, bringing the human centric thing in the consideration while you are doing, and very important that training the team who is going to use that AI. So that's very, very important, because as Kriti Vasan also said that you have to, whatever you put will come out from the AI. So right input is very much required, and for that right team is needed. So training the team is a very valid point. Thank you for that mention. All right. My question to you is that your work sits right at the intersection of people and brand. How is AI shaping employer branding and culture? So, Anushree, you're able to hear me?
Yes, my voice is audible.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so before I begin, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Neetu, Vibha, and entire incredible workplace for the invitation and for curating a forum that consistently elevates thoughtful and future-oriented conversations in the people and cultural space. So, for those who may be hearing for me the first time, myself Anushri Kose, Vice President of People and Ecosystem Growth at Pipra Solutions, where Pipra Solutions drive by innovation, excellence, and customer success. As a technology first company, we specialize in artificial intelligence, blockchain, IoT, and customer software development. So, over the past 11 years of my career has spanned the breadth of HR leadership, employer branding, AI-enabled people practices, cultural development, strategic partnership, and academia industry collaboration. So, my work is encoded in a simple belief: when people thrive, organizations rise, right? I'm deeply committed to design people first ecosystem where talents feel seen, supported, and inspired. So coming to the when we talk about how AI is reshaping employer branding and cultural storytelling, the shift we are seeing in the market today is both profound and irreversible. So here at Pipra, so I'll be taking Pipra example because I'll be in always in on the floor and in contact with the teams. So we are experiencing this transformation firsthand. So the first question that Viva has asked, right, how AI is reshaping employer branding and cultural storytelling. So traditionally, I think employer branding was one directional. Companies pushed out content and hope it resonated. Today, AI has turned that model on its head. AI is enabling organization, including us at Pipra, to create employer branding that is evidence-based, hyper-personalized, authentic, and always on. When AI help us to tell authentic data backed culture stories, I think in our organization we use AI to analyze real culture signals, engagement pattern, employee feedback, candidate sentiments, and market perception. This allows us to tell the real story of who we are instead of depending on the polished statement. I think the one very famous quote, AI gives us truth, human give its meaning, right? Human is in all, we have to be intact with AI. And AI enables personalized employer branding at a scale. In the market, we see companies struggling with the generic messaging, but AI allows us to tailor EVP stories to different talent groups: tech, non tech, leadership, and early careers. In Pipra, each talent segment receives messaging that reflects what they value most. I think AI tools help us to generate content, repurpose stories, amplifying recognitions moments, and maintain brand consistency across the platforms. So this allows Pipra to stay visible, relevant, and human without overwhelming our teams. So, from my experience, what AI application in HR with the most immediate and practical impact is across my journey in HR and people leadership. I have seen many tools come and go, but there are few AI applications that deliver immediate and practical high ROI impact both in market and within our industry. So let me highlight the areas where AI is delivering tangible impact and how we at Pipra are putting this into action. We have built our in-house HRMS built a tool entirely using Amazon Q. I think most of the developers and most of the people knows about the Amazon Q, right? So let me share a concrete example from Pipra. So one that demonstrate how AI is not just influencing HR, but actually rebuilding its foundations. We have built an entire HRMS tool from end-to-end solutions we have piled up over there. So we have developed our entire things using the Amazon Q. This is not in plugin, I think, not an integration, not a surface level enhancement. It's a grouped up AI engineered system designed to transfer the way HR operates. So what make this strong example, because it shows that AI is no longer theoretical in HR, but it's practical, operational, and deeply embedded in the core of our people system. It automates the full employee cycle from hiring to onboarding to performance journey, mapping the system powered by Amazon Q, handles workflows that traditionally require multiple tools and manual human efforts. This continuously analyzes the patterns in hiring, performance, engagement, and culture. Unlike traditional HRMS tools, only the store data or system thinks, interprets, and advises. So this is the one recent examples that we have built in and we have make it live, and we are using our own HRMS tool. One what it automates the repetitive and predictive what is emerging and empowers HRs and humans to do what truly matters, right? Empathy, connection, and culture building. Anyway, humans will be always intact with the tools and HR, right? So by building our own tool, we have moved beyond using HR tech. We have started creating it. This is the future of people and HR. AI infused, insight driven, and designed for human experiences. So when we combine all of this, we see a very clear pattern, right? AI is not replacing human side of HR; it's enhancing it. At Pipra, we use AI to bring clarity, speed, and insight, and we use human intelligence to bring empathy, culture, and connections. So that's the balance we believe in AI and HR. So one last thing that. Here the AI will not replace HR, that's for sure, but HR that enhances AI will be elevate the function from operational to transformative. The future belongs to the organization that combines intelligent technology with intentional human empathy. So that's the key takeaway, and thank you for all being such an engaged and thoughtful audience. Thank you so much. Over to you, Vibha.
Thank you, Anushri. And you mentioned that you are taking a lot of initiatives wherein you are using AI for building that, people-centric culture. I would want to also understand from you that when you were implementing this side of AI, bringing human-centric, making human-centric organization, how was the people response? Like, were they very open to it? Did they like it? How was the reaction from them? How did your
Yeah.
AI reacted to it?
Good, good. So, so see, we have to train the people. That one rightly said by everyone, right? By my panelists, those who are here. So we have to train the folks. We have to train the entire team. We have to train the people. We have to make them empathetic while using the AI, right? Because always a human touch will be always be there, right? AI can't replace human. AI will enable us. So we have to. So there were a lot of because now the Gen Zs are mostly working with us, right, and the millennials and the generations that we are using. But I think everyone is, the way that AI has reduces, right, the stress level, right. One right prompt will give us a lot of just as drafting the email. I've been using most of the time AI. That's my second, you can say, a right hand. I'm using always AI to, but we need to be very conscious while using that. Yeah, that is what.
Thank you, Anushri, for mentioning it. Vikram, I would love to know your thought on this next point. What foundational steps should organization take when beginning their AI journey in HR?
Yeah, I think with what Anu mentioned, I'll kind of add to this is that whenever an organization starts their AI journey in HR or any other, we use AI even in finance and other places, right? Is that the biggest mistake I've seen is that a lot of people, they jump straight to the shiny tool, right? It's like buying a new treadmill at home and hoping that magically everyone will get fit in the family. And then we suddenly realize that it sits in the corner and it becomes a very expensive clothes hanger, right? So the real starting point is not a technology; it's the process clarity. It's about culture. It's about readiness. So if you break this down, or what I just said, you start with a business problem and not a buzzword. I've seen teams say that we need AI and let's see what we can use it for. It's like I have a blender at home and can I make all the juices that I can, right? But instead, identify the real HR pain point. If you are saying that I have a problem statement for getting better retention, or you say candidate experience during the hiring or talent development, you have a very clear perspective, and then AI becomes that powerful tool that it helps you connect the process, the data that gets checked out from the process, into solving something meaningful, right? The second is cleaning the data before before we kind of start using AI. A lot of times AI goes into patterning. We just spoke some time back, right? And the patterning comes in when you realize that there are humongous amount of data sources, maybe 15, 16 systems, 12 spreadsheets, mystery folders where people have kept their final reports, etc. So what does AI do is it starts scrounging, it kind of starts processing, and then you realize that, oops, it's getting into the wrong patterning or it's getting into the wrong way. So I think the best way is to kind of first ensure data hygiene, ensure there is a good governance system in place, and then ensure that integration of systems is already pre-built before we kind of get going. And I think this third most important point, which I'm coming from a human perspective, is that we need to build trust before you build models, right? If employees don't trust how data is going to be used, the AI journey derails before it can become, right? So I still remember in one of my rollouts, this employee asked me, so will AI start spying on my lunch breaks? It was such a benign, very innocent question. But then I realized that communication and transparency are not optional. They are the oxygen to make this work. So then we went ahead to say what AI will do, what it will not do, how privacy is protected, how decisions get made which are human led, and then establishing that trust so that the investment, the early investment in terms of employee experience is seen, right? The other thing that we did was to kind of start small, succeed fast, and then scale responsibly. So we picked up the most common low-hanging fruit that everyone talks about is recruitment. So recruitment screening, right? And the first level of interviews. We realized that managers were spending a lot of time in first level assessment. So what did we do? We created a AI capability, and we gave it a persona, a nice persona, a lady for men for ladies, kind of a thing, different we wanted it. So what happened is that it would do the first level of screening. It would give us a lot more analytics that we had asked, and it would kind of give you a fit to requirement percentage with including relevant testimonials or relevant scripts from the interview that it had done. And then the second thing that we did is from there we kind of looked at and said who is the best that we could go in for the next level, and that was human made, right? So we didn't want to kind of go into an easy patterning mistake. The second thing that we did was we used it for employee help desk. Took away the mundane, repeatable stuffs and brought in a lot more in terms of optional based recommendations. So we proved value quickly. So if we saw that when these things were getting into a success story, we realized that the rest of the things that we will bring in will start to get accepted because people say, hey, I see, I can experience, and I can trust that. So we want some more of that. The other thing that we did was we upskilled the HR team. AI didn't replace them. AI only upgraded them. So, there was this person within my own team who said, I cannot become a data scientist. I don't know much of IT. I said, you don't have to become a data scientist. Be somebody who can use it. It's just like you don't have to become a mechanic to drive a car, right? You use a car. So we started getting HR comfortable with data, digital tools, analytical perspectives, AI-assisted decision making, and then got them certified. So now AI literacy across HR is a non-negotiable foundation. We've built a team that is now going back and actually leveraging the tool rather than just treating it as a shiny new tool and exploring what it can do. Then last but not the least, I think it's about building an ethical compass from day one, right? Without a guardrail, like a train can go off track, similarly, AI can take you off track. So, if it's like, for those who have had children or seen children, think of it like a toddler with crayons, right? Magical potential. But you want to draw boundaries where they can draw and where not, and what can they. So somewhere down the line, we were very careful about bias checks, pattern analysis, explainability, and the governance that we needed to build in early in the day, and not when something had gone wrong. So to wrap it up, it's to say that start with a purpose, clean your data, build trust, begin small, grow your people along the journey, and then when that becomes true, then AI becomes a strategic partner and not just another technical project where a lot of money is being asked. Over to you, Vibha.
Thank you, Vikram. Very valid point that we should start with a purpose. Very important to start with purpose and, building a governance across it. That's a very good point to start with. And I was about to ask you this question that while using these AI tools, was there ever an incident wherein you felt, okay, this was not what we were looking for and it didn't work the way we wanted to? So we have heard AI giving a lot of success, but is there an example where AI was not that successful, and how did you deal with that situation?
Yeah, so I'll give you a real-time stuff from, say, hiring as an example. I can give you multiple perspectives, right? We wanted to go out and develop talent at grassroots. So we have offices in a place like Karkala, which is near Udupi, down rural Karnataka. We have in Tirupati and so on and so forth. So when we started searching and sourcing colleges, right, when it came to a place of identifying interns, and somebody from, say, Chennai or Hyderabad or Bangalore applied, the patterning would check that out. It would only search because we were searching at grassroots, right? So I think somewhere down the line, we were very careful of, again, going back and checking out and saying, is merit getting put aside, right? So that's example one. As an example, we realized. The second thing that we realized was when it comes to learning and development, right? You have role-based training programs. You've got business-demanded training programs for a role. And then last but not the least, you may have aspirational training that the employee themselves wants to go in through, right? So like an individual development plan or something, right? So what it would do is that it would check and it would put percentages automatically. It would see the trend of approvals and it would put, okay, X percentage we will give in this team for these individual buckets. And that was scary because we never intended to put any, percentages or any guardrails there, right? We wanted people to be able to learn, go back, apply, and then get better. So I think that was another example. If these two examples give you a perspective, right? The thing is that there are very easy opportunities for, they say, statistics and damn lies. In the AI world, patterning and damn lies, right? I mean, it can sometimes give you a very, very convincing perspective, but then one has to be very clear. Do we need to fine-tune the process that feeds it? Do you have to kind of look at data cleansing? Do we need to also build expectations with people who are going to use that in terms of saying, hey, you know what, you need to go and decluster the pattern?
Yeah. Completely agree. And the reason for asking this question is there's always a hinge and there is always a fear that AI is replacing humans. It can't be, right? Humans are always needed. AI will do what you will ask. So to do that, human is definitely needed. And that's why AI fails at time and it's human intelligence which make it work in the right direction.
One small thing I want to add, Vibha, is that, whenever I hear that, somebody is going to replace somebody, it's so not true. Yeah. Especially technology replacing. If we realize, I'm sure we have seen the 2000s, right? When banks were getting computerized, people said, oh my God, bankers are going to lose their jobs because computers are now coming in. Nothing happened. It's just that people grew, they learned, they developed more competencies and they really enhanced the customer value. And today you do banking from anywhere and whatever, right? Instead of standing in a line with a check, right? So stuff like that. So similarly, I believe, and I'm seeing it happen within my own organization, is that with the help of AI, it's only enriched employee experience. It's given me the opportunity of leveraging my own team into newer and better things. So when we look at employee experiences, when tomorrow when Incredible Workplaces visits us, you will see that there is so much that AI has actually taken us further.
Yeah, I agree. Great. Thank you. My next question to you will be, Kriti, that, you have worked extensively on scaling organizations. And as companies scale rapidly, what AI-enabled practices can help strengthen talent acquisition and performance management for them?
Right. This is a very close to heart question because over the last 18 years, the way that I have actually seen how talent acquisition has actually transformed. When I started my career, I'm sure there is a backstory towards that as well. But when I started my career in 2004, we used to carry bundles and bundles of question paper and answer scripts and ask the candidates to mark their answers and then use an OCR sheet to actually evaluate manually. And even during interviews, we see people where many times I've come across a situation where if the interviewer mood is nice, if you had a good start in the morning, you're selected. If you had a rough start in the morning, if you had a very bad day, bad start, or if the sambar or chutney was not good in the morning, then you're not going to get selected, even though you might be great. This is how it used to be, and I've seen it live in action. From there to computer-based assessments, to a server-based assessments, to internet-based assessments, to now AI-based. The journey has been wonderful. And today, while in my current organization, we still don't use anything towards a recruitment from an AI standpoint, except for tools for sourcing. But in my previous stint, just before I started my journey as a CHRO, I was doing multiple consulting assignments. For one such assignment for one of the company, we were trying to find a way, how can we judge a candidate subjectively using an online tool. Online tool gives you more of a objective based. You give them 4 options and they select the right option. So there's always a 25% luck also into it. So how can we do more subjectivity? So that's how I even remember, along with a product company, we built a tool which can actually help evaluate subjectivity. But again, it will give you certain marks, and we have kept a threshold because we don't want AI to dictate the final verdict. Rather, we want AI to provide more context to it, and from there a human can actually evaluate. Say 1,000 people taking up the assessment, AI can filter and give me the top 25. As a human, we will then sit on the 25, read through it, and then pick up the top 5. But when we did it, we were able to hire much better talent at a lesser time. And the cost was also much, much lesser compared to the traditional group discussions and essay writing and all those things. So talent acquisition has gone through a huge transformation, and on a daily basis, there are so many tools that are coming up. It's all about how we use AI, right? So today, AI, we need to use it to do the heavy lifting. We shouldn't allow it to, like I said, dictate terms final. We will use it for more in terms of the initial selection, summarizing the whole resume, or bringing down basis certain skill set and all those things. And then we add more value to it. The AI-based candidate experience. When we talk about candidate experience, AI alone cannot give it. So that's why the human will also come into the picture. This is from a talent acquisition standpoint, and from a talent management, or rather a performance management standpoint, right? Today, every other, say for example, today we are on this tool, we are on this bridge. Now, if an AI is enabled into it, right? Today, there are so many tools which are also AI enabled. What it will do is it will even record our whole conversation and then comprise it to notes, and then it will give us some meaningful insights from the conversation. Now, if I have actually, there are some tools which will even go to the extent of today, say for example, the same meeting, it's more of a group meeting within the team, and I praise you. Like, Vibha, you did a great job. Now, the AI tool can actually go to the extent of noting down that, okay, fine, Krithivasan mentioned that he said Vibha actually did a great job, and it can go into your personal records. So when it comes to the performance management at the end of the year, now the tool can actually show you all these, which a human normally would have missed out. We would have appreciated people, but are we going to the extent of actually recording it? More often, we don't record it, right? So when we get onto these AI-based tools, and then when the conversations are being recorded and are being fed through it, even a simple mailers or whatever it is, right? AI can easily extract information. But again, we should know when to use AI, because there are some mailers which are very confidential and all those things. You should know when to allow AI to actually come into the picture. When we do that, then it becomes much easier for the performance management, where everything gets recorded, everything gets tracked, and you get the final output, and nobody messes out anything. It's like right from a very, very small win to a very major celebration as well.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you for adding that point, Krithivasan. I think that's very important, that we should understand when to use AI. Thank you. And since we are very close to closing the session, my last question to you, Kanan, is that, what role do you see AI playing in accelerating change management and leadership development? So that's the last question for today's session. You're on mute, Kanan.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. See, AI is emerging as a powerful catalyst in how organizations navigate transformation and develop the leaders. Like when you talk about change nowadays, change is like we all know change is the only constant in life. But it is changing in such a way that people are changing their mobiles or even a WhatsApp DP. That's how it is happening. So we will have to be prepared to it, and organizations must stay flexible to it. So how AI is accelerating the change management is, I would say, one of the most powerful ways is like through the agentic AI systems. So this can simulate, compare, and even optimize the multiple change pathways in a simple way in a single transaction. Like it might have multiple plans: plan A, plan B, plan C. It would simulate all these at the same time and choose the best option before even an organization commits to a full scale rollout. So Anushri was talking about implementing the HRMS system. So let me not take the same example. So let me take an example of having IWP certified in an organization. So we can have a plan A of going with this IWP certification for the entire organization, or we can go ahead with a certain demographies, or even for certain the plan C can be for certain BUs. So what AI does is it simulates all these plans, thinks through it with old org data, the behavioral patterns, and get some evidence-based predictions, so that we can arrive at a decision and we can arrive at the option which would deliver the best adoption rates. Okay, and also which would have lowest resistance as well, which is very important. So it just breaks down the success and failures in these models. Like it can do a fishbone analysis or a YY analysis to understand the cause and effect, the root cause of a problem. So in short, I would say through predictive analytics, we can identify the readiness gaps, the resistant points, and also forecast adoption rates. So through sentiment analytics, Vikram was talking about this. So this gives leaders real-time insights into employee emotions. So interventions can happen early. And with scenario modeling, it becomes easy. AI easily simulates the outcomes of different strategies, helping leaders choose the most effective plan. And coming on to the leadership development, we all know most of the traditional leadership programs would be similar to one size fits all, which cannot work nowadays. So that's where AI comes into play. So AI completely transforms the leadership development from an exclusive standpoint to an inclusive standpoint. It creates individualized learning journeys. It enables safe skill practices through virtual reality or chatbots, and also maps the career growth to personal goals. So while AI is going to handle the routine content creation or the administrative tasks, leaders can spend more time on coaching, strategic guidance, and building trust, which are more important. Okay, they can focus more on deep conversation on values, vision, and the company's culture. And let me take a small example. See, we have an AI tool here for employee engagement, which supports the leaders big time because it's part of our employee voice survey. So this gives insightful analysis. That does the complete analysis part. It gives us some insightful information. Okay, it takes the great scoring areas, the top improvement areas also in a minute, and it also filters the comments, whatever has come from the employees, and gives out some beautiful action plans for the leaders to work on. So leaders need not work analytical part. They
I think
leaders sharp insights, personalized development, and better tools to engage their teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanan. I think this was very, very insightful. And a lot of people who are attending this session and who are going to see this offline will have a lot of takeaways from this session, how to keep a balance between AI and HR. So thank you to all the speakers. I think you have added valuable insights and perspectives today. And this conversation truly shows that AI and HR are not on opposite side, but work best when they support each other. When combined thoughtfully, they can help us build workplaces that are smarter, more agile, and more human. Thank you, everyone who joined us and contributed to the energy of the session. Stay connected for more meaningful conversation hosted by Incredible Workplaces. Until next time, let us continue to lead with purpose and create cultures where people and innovation grow together. Thank you.
Thank you.